How are you guys enjoying the field school?
Oh, loving it.
It's amazing.
Yep. Yeah, I had a great experience. So much fun.
We fire a cannon every morning. How nice can it be?
2 days from now, Finn wraps up our 6 weeks. It's been extremely successful field school. And part of that goes to the fact this is the sharpest group of students I think I've ever worked with. Everybody on the staff agrees. They're great attitude, fast learners. They all want to be here. They'll all be kind of sad to go home. So.
What we do is we put, at the end of the season, we put landscaping cloth, we'll cut it out and we put it at the bottom so we know how deep we dug, and it'll show the boundaries that we were digging in. So that way if anybody ever comes years down the line and wants to check it out, that landscaping cloth will be there. Okay. So we'll do that and then we just start getting the dirt over there and backfilling it into here. Yes.
That's the other method.
We have these content bags. And on here, each one has a specific number, which gives us the unit that it was located in, the level at which it was found at, and then the content number, or context number as well.
That is awesome.
Because we're up here in the middle of nowhere, it gives us the ability to be able to experience what they experience, because we are in a remote area. So we do have to find odd forms of entertainment, which is kicking the soccer ball around because we don't have TV or showers, or, well, we do have bathrooms this year, thank God. So it gives us, especially the students, a good visual of what life must have been like up here.
So over here we started as an exploratory trench. That's why it's such an interesting shaped unit. And then we hit wood. And this is about as far as we're gonna go this summer. We're in the middle of mapping it out right now to scale.
This is by far the largest unit excavated.
How long did it take to do all of this?
Probably like 4 days of digging.
Yeah,
Wow.
so last 10 days they dug that little pit right there.
Okay.
10 days. We did this in about 4 or 5 days.
I'm Rebecca Potter and I go to Adams State. And this is my first field school experience.
I'm Gary Potter and I go to Adams State. This is my first field school and it's been a lot of fun.
And we're brother and sister.
The rare places where you can go and actually have a field camp and a site to work on that's still a remote location where it hasn't been developed. One of the things I really appreciate about this is the fact that you can stand here and turn 360 degrees and what you're seeing is exactly what the soldiers saw over 150 years ago. It has not changed.
And this year has been phenomenal. We've had a great group of students and we've been able to open up so many units and learn so much. I mean, right here we have the fireplace of the infantry quarters. We know what floor they had. They had cobbles layered with sand and floor planks on top of it. So it gives us such a good concept of how these people live daily. We found seeds in the ash piles that you see Claudia working on right here. We found sorghum and corn and bean. So we now know what kind of diets they had. We found a lot of cut bone. That also gives us what kind of meat and what kind of cuts of meat they preferred. Yesterday we just found a pipe. We've seen the same pattern last year of pipe, so obviously they're purchasing it from the same area. It's a gray pipe with a circular stamp on it along the rim. So we've just found a lot of information this year.
We all really helped. I mean, I uncovered it, but everybody came and helped.
This is the actual fireplace. It was raised off the ground. It had some lipping on here, and that's why these are raised. And then over here, these were the ash pockets. This is where they would sweep out the ash. So this was the front of the actual chimney, I guess, with their fireplace.
Try and get the best experience for the students to not only get the archaeology in, but also think about the mentality of the time period, the worldview, how things are interacted with, what type of artifacts you're going to drop, what's easily breakable, what does that mean about the person, what are they saying. That's basically my job, to make them think. I crush their dreams and build them back up.
He also protects us from mountain lions.
I do. I protect you from mountain lions, yeah.
So a lot of times in history you record the main events, the battles, the dynamics, who was who in history. Yes, exactly. So for us, especially this field school of thought, we tried to study the underdogs, just the common soldiers. How did they live? What did they eat? What they experienced? They were lonely up here. There was a lot of snow that couldn't bring supplies up. They weren't getting paid. They weren't getting their uniforms shipped to them. So they were kind of alone up here trying to make ends meet in a completely foreign land. They had no idea what to expect. They didn't know if Indians were going to come in and attack. They didn't know if the Hispanic community was friendly because it was just Mexico. And then they built this fort as the U.S.
We did a great reenactment too. Steak and champagne. Whenever you get a chance to eat steak and champagne, you don't pass it up.
We got a letter from, I believe it's 1853, from one of the officers on station at Fort Garland, and they had gone down to minimal amount of people on the post during the winter. And he talked about when he went down to the sutler store, he got himself a bottle of champagne and a steak. And he was talking about how depressed he was, how much he missed his family, how far away he was from them. So he just wanted a steak and a bottle of champagne. So we decided to cook up 3 steaks, grab a couple, a bottle of champagne, and we had steak and champagne dressed up in Civil War uniforms. That was an interesting experience, to say the least. Yep.
So our first year, we was just simply finding where we were in the fort, and we were only partially successful. And then this year, we have enough information about the fort, we can actually start pinpointing where in the fort we want to actually start working.
We have about 6 open units going on. I'm really pleased at what we got accomplished this year.
At first I was like, well, it's gonna be pretty simple. We're just gonna go to Colorado and stuff. First day, they're like, warning you guys, there's a cougar out here, and we're like, oh crap, where did we end up in Colorado? And then the second day we got to shoot the cannon, and by the third day we learned about astronomy. So it's really, really like hands-on learning a lot here. So that's what I really love about the most. So, and I get to shoot the cannon every day, so I'm so excited.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So what has been one of your highlights of the field school?
Well, I spent my birthday here, so I got to hang out with all these wonderful, lovely people, and we got to go to Chaco Canyon, and so that was exciting. I miss my family, but it's not as bad as I thought it would be. But it's really cool. I really love it here.
I've been in the North Wall unit, and I've been over there in Delphin's Lagoons quarters, and then I've been over here. We think this is the beginning of the Lambesis quarters. And I've also been doing fishing, the mapping tool a little bit. I've had a pretty fantastic time. I've learned a lot. I'm still in high school, but this was a great opportunity. So.
Every 10 days we move. So, like I personally started on the north wall, on the north side of the fort, and then I worked kind of in the center the last 10 days, and then this 10 days I've worked between right over here and right here. So we have different groups we work with and different locations, so we kind of get a feel for everything that's going on at the fort.
24 feet this way, or maybe even 48 feet. Because a blockhouse would be big enough, if you got attacked, everybody could get into it. So 48 by 24, you could put, what, 50 men, 60 men in it.
So additionally from soldiers, we also look at women and children. You'd never picture women and children living in a fort, a military fort, but they did, and they do, and you see that in the artifacts. But in history, it's not very much recorded.
Where I've spent maybe 3 weekends in the desert each year, so 3 times. But this is my first actual field school where you sleep on the ground for 6 weeks. Which is cool. I mean, besides the cougars, everything.
Come on, Jamie's okay.
Everything's been more than I'd hoped for, so I'd recommend this field school to anybody. Unless we have a time machine, which we don't.
I like to have fun. Fun is the way to go in life.
I did 6 years of field school at Fort Garland, and this is our 2nd year at Fort Massachusetts. And I probably started directing field schools about 20 years ago. Wow. So next year we'll be able to come out and say, oh, we want to excavate in the hospital. Okay, it's there. So yeah, this year we were able to identify the north wall and the south wall. Last year we identified the east wall. This year we were able to identify some really solid landmarks. So our first few years has just been discovering where we were. Now we can start asking some specific questions about what went on here.
Are you glad you came out here?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. What has been the highlight for you?
It's a good question. There's been a lot of things, but I think one of my favorite things that we've done here is having the reenactors out, being able to fire that cannon every morning, just to be a part of that, to experience some of the things that the soldiers here might have experienced. I think it really adds to what we're doing here. I think it's definitely helped me sort of get in the mindset, and it's really gotten me motivated to work.
Have you had an experience with other field schools or archaeology work?
This is my first field school, so I think it's going to be hard to top this.
Really?
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to seeing what other field schools offer, and I've just really been enjoying this. So.
Cool. Are you going to be out here next year?
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah?
Yeah, I love it out here. This ranch is great.
Yeah.
I want to spend the rest of my life out here. That's my favorite part about it.
Are you going to be back next year?
Yeah, definitely. Go try to move out here in the spring and go from there.
Did the field school meet your expectations, or?
I really didn't know what to expect at all. Like, I just knew that I was going to be camping and working on a fort, and that's it.
Are you a camping person?
Oh yes, definitely. I do historical reenactments for the 1700s, which is a little bit earlier than this period, but that's what I thought maybe it was going to be like, but it's a lot better.
Yeah.
I really enjoy it.
Cool. Chad?
Yes, sir.
Is this your first field school experience?
First field school. So, and expectation-wise, it's exceeded all my expectations. I mean, everything that I could have hoped for to come out here and experience, I have. And just like the wealth of knowledge that all of us have gained in like the short time period has been a little insane. I mean, it's quite a bit of information to throw at somebody all at once, but everybody out here has picked it up, and it's been awesome.
Back next year?
Oh yeah. I think G's got me for life.
Yeah?
Definitely. So.
Cool. Station, we've got to learn from reenactors what 19th century life was like. I mean, from laundress to military, which this is a military fort, so that's pretty important. We have actually had an opportunity to fire a lot of the weapons that were common at this time.
It's not what I expected. It was really good. There was a lot more to it beyond just what we learned archaeologically. I planned on coming here and learning how to trowel better, how to shovel skin better, how to use the total station. But when I came out here, they just filled us with information. I mean, between the staff here and the reenactors they brought in, it was it was a great experience. So I learned a lot more than expected, and I can never say no to that.
So I attended Fort Garland Archaeology Field School in 2009 with Dr. Goddard. Fell in love with it, and then he invited me to come back, so I've been here ever since. And I'll probably be here through the duration of Fort Massachusetts, the excavation, so it'll probably be about 8 more years.
I'm currently a student at Adams State. I'm a history major with an anthropology minor, and so it had always been a dream of mine to do this since I was a kid, to do archaeology work. So had the opportunity and couldn't say no.
This one, it was a great deal, and turned out to be, I think, from my experience, the best deal so far, between the price and what we learned. So,
yeah, awesome.
That's my story.
Oh boy. Oh, God damn it, that's just, oh, stop it.